Guide to successfully watering your plants. Watering your plants is not as simple as watering them once a week. If you get the watery elements of your plant care wrong, you'll soon have dead or dying plants. It may surprise you to learn that it is easier to overwater your plants than underwater them. However, watering is not complicated, you just need to follow a few basic rules. The first is the pot size for your seedlings. You will need a small pot with a light and airy growing medium. You want to be able to get the growing medium nice and moist but still well drained, so that it won't dry out. If you put the seedlings in a large pot, the soil will never dry out and the roots will begin to rot once transferred into a large pot. Please make sure that the soil or growing medium drains easily. The idea is for the soil to be moist, not soaking wet. The pot should have holes in the bottom to allow excess water to drain, and the pot should be slightly raised so that it doesn't stand in excess water. If your soil remains too wet, it will encourage the growth of mold and bacteria on the surface. In a good setup, the soil surface should dry out between watering to prevent the formation of mold and bacteria. When you water the soil, it should take about 2 or 3 minutes for excess water to drain through. If it takes a lot longer, then the soil is too heavy and will remain wet and compacted around the root system. Adding perlite to soil is a good way to encourage healthy drainage while you can't tell how wet the soil is. At a depth of more than 6 centimeters, sticking your finger into the soil is a good way to check if the plant needs watering. If it is dry all the way down, it probably needs watering. If you don't feel the soil is moist, leave it alone. A good way to tell if a plant needs watering is to lift the pot. If it feels noticeably lighter than when it was just watered, it's time. For a top-up, the only other thing to keep an eye on is the pH of the soil, as too much water can change it from the optimum 6.3 to 6.8.